Hey, what is going on, everybody? Guys, BK, Mr. Belding, Dirk, what's up? Christopher, got a 6-star Nexus from a cap, and it was Gambit. Nice. Sentinel and Venompool. I chose Venompool. Let's see if it's good. All right, I am going to get to Venompool. We're going to do him a little bit later, and the reason is I already had Hood as a rank 2 6-star. I was very, very excited about him potentially fitting into teams that I enjoy, and I'm very excited about him. So I'm going to start off with him, but we will eventually get to Venompool before we finish this off. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man? True Potential. Another 3 who I don't have 6 stars, but I'm here to see Hood. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I got some ideas. You all know me. I want to go in and I want to see him how I think I would really use him. What's up, Grinfell? Christopher. Yeah, I know what it's like when you get these rank up materials, right? They do burn holes in our pockets. So I want to test him where I think I would really use him. If I'm struggling to kind of get his rotation down or something like that, we'll go to Realm of Legends, but that's not where I really want to start this off. That's not really where I want to start this off. So I've got him on a questing team. Like I said, how I think I would really use him. I am running the recoil tree, right? Dual edge, or you know what it is, liquid courage and all that good stuff. Because I think this is the team that I would run him with. I think this is the team I would run him with Kingpin, and then of course with Ghost. Both benefit massively if you're bringing Hood along with Kingpin, running the recoil tree masteries. I'm good. Happy about the. You're happy about the King group buff. VP is fun, but I don't see a need for him personally. Granted, I have an R3 Venom. I gotta say, like, it's always easy, right? Confirmation bias. That was my sense on Venompool. Looks really fun. It looks like they put a ton of work into him, which I appreciate. I just didn't see him like, where would I use him? Thing is, like you were just saying there, you've already got a rank 3 Venom. I don't have a rank 3 Venom, but I have a large roster. And so I could see that, and I could see a lot of people having a Venompool maybe as a 6-star just because he's been around for a long time, maybe as a 5-star, something like that. So I see there being a use or a reason for it. But I'm open to the idea there's more. They're open to the idea there's more. Guys coming in strong. What's up, dude? Thank you so much, as always. Let me get you updated here on the board. You guys know me too. I could sit here and talk for an hour and then be like, oh, we forgot to test anything. Venompool looks cool. I'm excited for that. And I do think that there's a difference. Like, this is something I really want to start talking about more and more on streams and videos, is I think it's time for us to start thinking of these champions like a bit of a Venn diagram. Meaning they are going to cross over in a lot of places and therefore have some similarities. And in some cases, those similarities will cross over quite a bit. But the game is so complex. There's so many defenders. There's so many node combinations that I think having a variety of good champions, even though they cross over, is worth having. So if Venompool has a role, Kai's has a role. If Venompool has a role, Venom has a role. And then one of the things, obviously when we knew about the Venompool buff, we did not know about Penny yet. But as I was reading Penny, I kept thinking of Venompool and why we're seeing more and more Cosmic champions. They can't be power drained, can't be power burned, all these various power things from tech champions in particular. And that will be a way to fight her on top of going unblockable or just beating the shield down and getting to her. So Hydra Homie, you think he's good without synergies? Plan to rank up my 6-star. Let's jump into this. Let's find out. I want to test him. And you know what? Thank you for asking that question, because I'm always hesitant to just jump into Realm of Legends and be like, see, guys, he's really good. When you don't need to worry about the defender throwing a special 3 and their AI is terrible, he is fantastic. I'm always very hesitant to do that, but that question illustrates that there is a value to that. So thank you for asking that question. This is how I think I would use Hood. I want to take these 3 fights, and then we'll do some Realm of Legends. And if I'm even struggling to get his rotation down, we'll still go to Realm of Legends, because there's some unique stuff here. I'm not bringing the Mole Man synergy. I think the Mole Man synergy is the one that allows you to more just kind of go full ham with him, as far as like not worrying about his bullets. When you're going against a champion who has buffs, I think you're still going to be able to go ham a little bit. That's my idea as we head into it. But I want to check it out. Agent Axe, what's up, guys? What's up, Snoops? Sorry, anyone who I don't say hi to. I do want to kind of get into this. All right. Yeah, I see what you're saying there about Venompool, RE Venom. And I think there is a difference between those two. And that's something that I really do want to test. We'll get to that with Venompool. Is one of my concerns is people are like, oh no, he just totally displaces Venom. And I still think with that Clintar buff, what I want to test is Venompool's SIG ability. And they don't say how much more frequently you are to get the buff that you want. I want to test that. I want to test that and see how much that changes things. All right, here we go. Finally, some Hood gameplay. Let's do this. All right. It's kind of a weird feeling getting used to him being guaranteed miss. All right, so I'm going to trigger this intentionally here. You got to kind of keep an eye on how many misses you've had, I think. There's no counter there. I was kind of hoping there'd be a counter or something. Because as you know, as you create misses, you are decreasing your probability. Let's heavy see what that damage looks like. That's not bad. That wasn't bad. What did we detonate? Like 8 of them there? He's always had a nice backdraft light. Just didn't work out there, but that's not his fault. But see, there's no buffs, and I'm noticing our bullets are going down here. All right. Let's go ahead and throw that off. I am intentionally ending with a light because I don't want to use up more bullets than I need to. But I'm not loving the way this looks without Mole Man and without buffs on the defender. Let's refresh our hexes there. See if we can finish him off. That's not bad. 14% of health pulled, I think, was about 200,000. That wasn't bad. That was really easy to get the hexes going. We used a lot of bullets, though, which I did not love. That's what I did not love. His is nice against Summer Pain. Ooh, I could see that. I could see that. Read Las Vegas. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks, Grinfield. Completed variant 6 today and got a 5-star ghost. How is she unduped? She's excellent. She's still excellent, man. The power gain opens her up a lot. There was a time in this game where people said she didn't even really need it. Not people, but there was a voice in that. I think a lot of that's just because she is so good. Once you get her awakened, though, and you start to get that SIG up there, you notice a massive difference. You notice a massive difference. The thing is, Ghost is so good that even without it, she is excellent, and she really opens up a lot of nodes and ways to be able to play her. Lefty, what's up, dude? Thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah, you know what's funny is I was kind of making fun of the Realm of Legends testing, but the question that was asked, I was like, that makes sense. There is a value to it, and it's so important that you're framing what you're trying to test, right? If I was going in to show you like this is how amazing the champion is, well, Realm of Legends isn't it. But if you're just trying to get the rotation down or show some simple damage, I think it makes sense. If I was going in to show you like this is how amazing. Spin, what's up, dude? That was Spinnaker. I'm not just talking to myself. I think he's just getting his microphone set up. All right, so we will.
Yeah, That's me. Yeah, sorry, I have to mute the YouTube stream and then come back and then unmute myself here.
No worries, dude. Okay, so there was. I wanted to kind of see how that worked. If you guys notice, we had the first 2 hits miss, and then he did actually hit us. All right.
Yeah, so I just got here. So what's the lowdown on Hood?
If it's going to take me a little bit to get used to him, just because this is a champion who was in the game for a while. So, when you go invisible, it is a full miss. Let's throw this SP2. I think you got to manage your bullets, though. I think that's going to be that's something that's standing out to me right away. Is if you're not bringing Mole Man, you may run into bullet problems. And
Yeah,
as a
that was my
result,
biggest
the
concern.
hex is not stacking up, which is what you would ideally want.
Right.
All right, let's
That
go
was
on.
definitely my biggest concern when I saw the update go, or at least the notes for it.
Yeah.
Because I think when he first came out, there was the bug that allowed him to go negative, and it didn't really matter about conserving bullets.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah, so we never really got to see how like valuable conserving those bullets was.
I'm always trying to be wary of confirmation bias. My confirmation bias here, though, would be when I made the video on him, I felt that if you were going into a fight that had buffs, you weren't going to need to worry about it. And hold on, let me see what the damage is on that. That's not bad. I'm not loving that. Was I still invisible, or was I out of invisibility? I think I might have been out. This is reminding me that we should test the SP3. So in the next fight, we'll test the SP3. I think that might be a good source of damage as well.
Because the bleed can be refreshed, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, okay. I got lucky there. Yeah, I think the bullets are going to be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, and they're persistent.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? OG Highline, what's up? You won't be on today? All right, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Have a great one, dude. Natalie, thanks for stopping by. I'm not sure exactly when all the videos are going to come out, but you get referenced in a couple of videos coming up here soon. Appreciate your activity on the Discord server.
Srinivas said Diablo's poison passives are now working.
Yeah, Janik was saying that. That's huge. I mean, Diablo was amazing already. And that was obviously the point of that synergy with Kingpin. The other thing that I'm noticing, I don't think I've taken a ton of hits, but he's not healing up. And that was also a big bug on the previous buff with Hood, was he was healing way too much.
Yeah, wasn't it like when he re-triggered the stagger, he would heal when it's only supposed to trigger on expiry?
Yeah, and that's very noticeable. I think I've taken one hit here. And you can see how low he is. He's got Mystic Dispersion. So you really are going to be throwing your specials a lot, especially since that's one of the ways you're triggering invisibility. So guys, keep in mind, I really wanted to like Hood. So when I'm talking about him, keep in mind that my hopes were very high. I'm a little bit disappointed at the moment. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm a little bit disappointed because this, in essence, is the team I wanted to run him with. But I think it still might work. I want to take him into the side quest. So let's finish this real quick, and then we'll go into Realm of Legends, and then I want to take him into the side quest and see, because what I'm wondering is, see, there's that miss again. You really got to watch that. What I am wondering,
in chat, Venompool has not been tested yet.
Yeah, we have not tested Venompool. Just getting started here, fellas. What I'm thinking is that he might be a champion that you just take, like, he's like a specialist almost. His synergy is so good for Kingpin. Here, let's take him into Realm Legends, and then I'll show you guys the side quest that I'm talking about, or my thinking on this. He is so good. He'll be a bit of a specialist, right? If there's buffs or something like that in a particular questing situation. And therefore you can run him with the recoil tree masteries because you're not as worried about his bullets, or you're not as worried about his health pool. But as far as him just fitting in and you using him for... I went to the wrong thing. I'm not sure that's happening. And the previous failed buff, I think, may have made him appear as though you're going to be able to do that when you really can't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are pointing out that he was healing a lot in Seaton's stream. And I'm curious, was Seaton running the recoil tree? Because I imagine the poison at least is neutering a bit of his healing, along with just the chip damage from the bleed and the poison, which he has no way of mitigating.
Yeah. This is kind of
a lot of excitement over the Venompool buff in chat.
Cool. I'm glad. I mean, he should be exciting. He should be exciting. He should be exciting. I won't. I'm not going to drag this out. I'll do this. Then we'll do the side quest, and then we'll jump into Venompool. We'll jump into Venompool. The heal was pretty good. Yeah, he was in Siege. But was he running recoil? I think that's a really great question because it might appear good if you're not running recoil.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to intentionally try to do the SP3 here as well. Okay, so there we go. I mean, we just statistically got insanely lucky. I intentionally let him hit into me. It drops down 20% each time.
And you have the synergy that increases it to 140, right?
I believe so. And how does Mole Man increase the bullets? Is it on knockdowns?
Yeah, it's on knockdown, you get 3.
Okay. I don't like there's a stickiness to his triggering his invisibility. It reminds me a little bit of the tech champion that just got updated and he converts armor ups into fury.
Civil Warrior?
Yeah, it's reminding me of that. I don't like that at all either.
Oh. Is it not feel comfortable even with the SP2 rotation?
Let's see here. I'm going to throw this. So the reason I triggered invisibility first, guys, is I am bringing the synergy with Strife, which increases attack by 50% when you're invisible. So I wanted to kind of check that out. And then we're just going to try to refresh this, see how this works. What was your question, Spin? I'm sorry.
Oh, I forget what I was asking. Everyone in chat is saying no suicides, or sorry, no recoil tree for Seaton.
Okay. Don't worry about saying suicides. I honestly, I still go back and forth on myself. Okay, so the bleed's not that long. You got to really pay attention to it. I feel like I don't think this is a recoil tree mastery friendly champion unless you're just taking 1 or 2 fights. I'm not seeing that. I'm open to the idea I'm wrong. I kind of wish I was wrong.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of the special 3 mechanic where you get increased attack rating for every full bar of power the opponent has without giving him a way of taking that power down. Because with someone like Hercules, you have that special 3 caveat of if the opponent goes red for your special 3, you gain that indestructible that lets you tank the special 3. Hood doesn't really have that for the attack bonus he's getting.
Yeah, and you're bringing... See, there it is right there. I don't know if you guys could see it. It happened a second time. I am dashing back because I'm also just playing the game. And I would want that to start to trigger the invisibility, and it doesn't. So I'm having to lift my finger, which sounds like no big deal, but those of us who play the game understand that is a pain in the butt. When you're looking for that smooth transition into triggering the ability, and it doesn't happen. Of course, Winter Soldier always loves to throw his special when you don't want him to.
Of course. Also, I think I'm late on this, but hi, Jacob.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Jacob? I didn't hear him enter the chat. Thanks for letting me know. See, right there. He should be going invisible that whole time, and he's not. That is really frustrating. That is really, really annoying. I think this is a good champion, though. I don't want to make it sound like I don't think this is a good champion. I also feel like the detonation on the heavies of the hexes has been tuned down.
It does feel that way. I also want to say that I do think Hood is intended to be played with a special 2 where you're not having to dash back and hold block to try and get that
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Hood has that synergy with, I want to say it's Invisible Woman or Tigra, the one where if you miss you get 10% of a bar of power.
Yeah, that's Invisible Woman.
Yeah,
but Invisible Woman. Because I feel like with that synergy and throwing special 2s, you're going to be able to consistently loop your invisibility a lot quicker without having to go back and dash back. I'm just curious about that myself. I don't know if you want to test it. I know you said you wanted to do this and then go back to Venompool. But it does seem like he's intended to be played with the special 2 because I agree that stickiness on the dash back and hold block, it feels like it's not registering it a lot when you do it.
The problem is that's a really nice way to get around the cooldown on the special 2, on the invisibility in general. right?
Mhm.
So that's a way. What I'm thinking is because it feels like there's a good champion in here, especially with that Mole Man synergy. Like the bullets were, I didn't even have to think about it. I didn't even have to think about it. What I was hoping for him is clearly not coming out. Like I remembered saying, I've got a tier 5 CC of Mystic with his name on it.
Mhm.
I'm not so sure on that anymore. Again, because of the way I wanted to use him. Let's take him into. I want to take him into the side quest, guys, and then we'll do. And then we'll get to Venompool. And then we'll get to Venompool, which is going to mean a few fights that aren't HUD, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you want, I think there's a Crossbones in the side quest if you want to test out the Diablo with passive poison synergy actually working in the game.
I kind of want to see. So this was my theory. This was my theory on him and how I foresaw him potentially being used. Well, obviously in war, you can only take 3 champions. But in a quest like this or in other sorts of questing situations, was you use him as more of a specialist and he's just taking a couple fights for you while these other ones are doing a lot of the heavy lifting because he's is part of some really nice synergies, as you know.
For
Yeah,
Hood,
I definitely don't see him doing any lane clearing personally.
You know what, though? That's what I was thinking here is I feel like if you remove the recoil tree, I think he might. Like, but that's going to be a more extensive test. Like, that's not something that's going to happen in just like half an hour. Maybe it would. There's only one way to find out, I guess.
all right, just catching up on chat. Richard Belding said, not sure if it holds my account back, but I rank 95% of my champs based on the recoil tree. So with that, I might be taking Dragon Man up over Hood.
Yeah, so based on what we're seeing now, and keep in mind if in 2 weeks I have a different answer, there will have been a video out on that. But right now, I would say absolutely, especially because Dragon Man's very good. Dragon Man's very good, and plus Kabam's doing something interesting here, guys. This is completely not CCP related. This is if you're used to my channel, I just like to notice these things and talk about them. But this is not based in anything I've read or learned. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But something very interesting I feel like is happening with Mystic Champions. They are not removing buffs or anything like that. They are reducing the potency of them, and they are getting like stronger off of the opponent buffs. Like look at America Chavez, look at Dragon Man, and the parry bug is still here. That is really fun.
And I want to say that's just a byproduct of the meta shifting towards any kind of cosmic champ or buff champs having Mystic Ward.
Yeah, I think it's the natural progression of things. I don't think it necessarily had to be this as the progression, but I think it's just things happening and Kabam working with it as they continue to extend the life of this game. And then I talked about this a little bit in the Discord server. I don't know, Jacob or Spin, if you got a chance to see this, but it was something that made me raise an eyebrow when I was reading over Spider-Man 99's abilities. Is that he interacts with ability power rate, which is something that America does. And I don't know. I'm not going to try to claim and say that means America is going to end up being great. I'm not going to try to say that there's a total shift in the meta. There's just something interesting going on there. And I think that is something to kind of keep in mind on Dragon Man, that he is very good as he currently is in a meta that really has you wanting to nullify buffs, hexing, whatever, getting rid of them. And if that changes even more, or if it was just a little bit of things, I think he could get stronger, is what, in essence, I'm trying to say.
I see that coming into play if there's high ability power rate and something like Lionheart. And it just seems like that's something that Kabam could totally do.
Yeah.
Just because based on Penny Parker's abilities, we were also talking about this in the Discord, but it's like every time they come up with a counter to something, they have then started coming out with counters to those counters.
Yeah.
And what I'm specifically referring to is True Strike as an ability to counter auto block, and now you have Penny Parker who basically bypasses all true strikes. Same thing with cleanse and shrugging off. Like, all of those kinds of things does make me think, like, we're trying to see anti-power and heal without the use of petrify.
Yeah.
Which would kind of play into what you're saying.
Sorry, everyone. I'm not interacting with chat quite as much because I do want to get through this. But thank you for everyone who's saying things. Matthew, that's awesome to hear. Fluffy, thank you so much for being here. You guys are getting me excited for Venompool. I want to run through here. Robin, what's up? What I was talking about way I would personally be excited about Hood as a specialist this is exactly it. Spin, thanks for reminding me that this was here. Was maybe a fight like this, and then potentially the Hercules at the end, where, yeah, I mean, I could obviously take this with Ghost. That's how good Ghost is. But you guys are getting a sense of what I'm talking about. You guys are getting a sense of what I'm talking about here. So I'm not even going to care about bullets. I'm just going to try to keep staggers and hexes up, and let's see what happens. Sorry, Jacob. There was a lot of talking in a row, buddy.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, True Potential makes a good point, which is that Seaton was doing it on nodes that give the opponents buffs on each hit, which would definitely get a lot more regen on Hood, which is different than on a typical fight. Because remember, it's on stagger ending, and that includes when he staggers a buff. But that also means that if you're just constantly refreshing without the opponent actually gaining those buffs, you're not actually getting that heal.
I mean, that obviously that didn't go exactly how it was intended. Mystic Dispersion kind of screwed with me a little bit there, but that was really nice. And I think I misplayed the invisibility too.
That definitely looked pretty good.
Yeah, 30 wall hits isn't that bad considering the amount of hits on the special too.
Yeah. And letting that shock end, because doesn't the shock does a little bit of damage at the end if you let it expire naturally, right?
Rocky asked if the Uplord is worth a Mystic Awakening gem. Do you want to start, Vega?
Yeah, I'll give quick thoughts on that, and then I'll let you guys.
It doesn't do extra damage, it just makes a stun happen.
Wait, he's asking about Diablord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Spin, you're answering my question. Thank you. I think if you're going to max him out, and I don't mean Sig 200, I mean if you're going to take him to rank 3 if it's a 6-star, or you're going to take him to rank 5 as a 5-star, and if you're running Recoil Tree, being suicides, I don't know, I can never remember what they're actually called. If you're doing that, then yeah, I think so. I think so because of the damage mitigation and things like that. He's also just worthy in general. He is, in my opinion, a top 5 Mystic champion, hands down, and he's very unique. The only thing he doesn't do is interact with, or the ability to like mitigate the power gain of the defender. But again, if you caught earlier parts of the stream, I think that's something for more and more of us to stop trying to have a champion check like all of these boxes. More, how many of them do they check? And then how does that fit into my roster? So I hope that answers your question. And then Jacob and Spin, please definitely give your perspectives.
I really like the Uplord, but it depends on what gem it is. If it's a 6-star gem, I probably wouldn't use it on him. But 5-star gems are getting more common for basically everyone, with one being available every month. So I would definitely use a 5-star gem on him.
I would honestly say 6-star, I would consider it, just because the Mystic class, in general, in terms of Awakening, isn't doing it doesn't have that big of a requirement compared to the other classes. Like, you have your Mojo, you have your Tigra, but like, you don't have too many that really need it. Obviously, Prestige makes it a different question, but I would definitely consider it as only if you're running the recoil tree, though. Does Kingpin need the dupe?
Not necessarily.
No. He benefits nicely from it, though. He benefits
Yeah, it
nicely.
really does help the ramp up.
Yeah. All right. I shouldn't have used Strife there. I'll continue trying to move through these other fights more quickly so we can get to the hood fights. I also didn't use Strife properly, right? He starts invisible, which would have been a nice way to get his ramp up going. That's the whole reason to bring Hood for Strife purposes, anyway. Strife actually helps Hood's damage quite a bit. That's another thing I'm a little disappointed in. That is the detonation of those hexes. I'm sure it could stack them to some ridiculous number, but then it's like that. Why? Like, unless just for a fun YouTube video or a line video, I could see that. But as far as us actually testing, like, would you do this? I think the answer is probably not. You know,
What does the synergy do?
it increases Hood's attack rating by 50% when he's invisible. So that's also why I'm trying to, like, when we're tested the SP3, why I tried to keep that or make him go invisible first. I didn't do a good job of manipulating the power of the defender there, though.
Right. Tactics asks, did the parry dex bug get resolved?
Definitely
Ooh,
not.
boy.
No.
Yeah, at least I don't think so in the few minutes I've been playing.
It has not, which is why AW has been delayed indefinitely, I think, without, like, they haven't given a timeline as to when
Yeah,
they're...
the same with Summoner Showdown, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They would probably also have include the in-game message if it was fixed.
Yeah. Oh, they will definitely let us know, because they would also let us know through the compensation, because they have said they plan on giving something. And I do hope it's not more glory, because I really don't need that.
It's like they're like trying to fatten us up. Okay, here we're gonna have some Hood fights here too. I think he's going to suffer though, because I think the recoil tree will really hurt him. It's also
kept out of...
what's that?
Sorry, go on.
I think the one of the changes with him, it's going to be really take players who already used Hood. I think it's going to take you a while to get used to using the invisibility this way now. Man, and it is really sticky, guys. I do not like that at all.
Is the special 2 not optimal?
As far as like the way to trigger it,
Yeah, like just only relying on SP2 and not
only doing that.
Flashback.
It just feels like in doing that you're missing what to me felt like a large part of his kit. But maybe that's what's happening is I'm shooting too high in the sky. Let's see. I'll try not to trigger it at all. I'll just try to focus solely on the SP2.
Yeah, I'm just curious if that, because like Civil Warrior, if he had a way of triggering his Furies without having to dash back and block, might have made him better. Or easier to use, at least.
Yeah.
I'm curious if Hood has the same kind of effect.
Hey, TJ.
Jeez, that's not good. I was seeing how many we could miss there. I forgot that those are all passive. Let's see what this does.
Yeah, War Machine is weird right now. His L1's Ruptures don't get shrugged off by Kingpin at all.
Really?
Yeah, it seems to be messing with the ability accuracy. It's kind of weird.
I am happy that the
Venompool,
suppressors trigger and block.
Venompool is not a champion that's considered, or that people are thinking is suicide friendly, right?
I don't know. I have not messed around with him yet.
Friendly and friendly.
All right, I'm going to remove them because I
He's
do
going to be usable with it, but...
Okay, I'm going to take them off now because I do want to see Hood without them, and I also don't want to belabor testing Hood because I know everyone wants to get to Venompool, which is fine. which is good. And I think I'm getting a sense on what Hood does. And as I'm thinking it through more, I think Kabam did a real nice job of keeping a lot of the utility that people who enjoyed Hood previously wanted him to keep. It's not all of it, by the way. They did take some of that utility away. And upped his damage and gave him a nice, kind of as Campo calls him, a nice mini game. But sometimes there's champions like, and even in testing Diablo, even though I had very little sense of how to use him properly, I could tell this was a champion that was very good. It took me like half an hour playing him off stream to decide I wanted to take him to rank 3. I am not getting that feeling from Hood right now at all.
Also, Buddy Lee said he only uses the special 3 on Venompool, so probably suicide friendly.
Isn't there a nice benefit to the SP2 though? I can't think of what it was.
Yeah, you double your buffs, I believe.
Yeah, like you could double the potency of them if you finish the dance, I think.
Yeah, if you finish the moonwalk, you get a double of all your buffs for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But I guess
that's the cycle I've been going with.
But if you're running suicides, recoil tree like Buddy does almost all the time, I could see not, you change the way you're playing. It's like, I did finally finish up that inhuman challenge or whatever. And at some point, it's like, I'm just throwing my SP3s over and over because recoil at some point, was changing the way I would play the champion just because of the length of the fights. So I kind of get that. Oh, man.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thanks, man. Oh, my God. Venompool is ridiculous. Honestly, he made me almost want to back out.
Really?
Yeah. I did start playing a lot better because I just accepted what was happening. I spent, I think, about 25 minutes on Venompool, where he just stayed around 25, I think it was 25 or 45% health, because I kept triggering the heal. Like, it was not enjoyable.
Yeah. The worst fight on the path.
It really was, by far. It was... I'm going to heal him just a little bit, because I want to... But you guys can see how much of my potions and resources I used. Pretty much all of them. So that was fun, too. Okay.
Joe G said Cap IW with skill won't shrug War Machine special 1 debuffs as well.
Yeah, it's definitely bugged.
That's bugged then, yeah. What's up, Redwood? How you doing? You can so yeah, Scion's bringing something. That's another thing that's been interesting about Hood, is you kind of need to keep. I think you need to keep a mental count on where you are and how many hits you have missed or have been missed, because there was a couple of times where I wanted to trigger parry, but then it was a miss, and so you kind of just need to. There's some stuff I'm not liking. I'm sure it's pretty obvious. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it too much because I do think this is a good champion here. But wait, why didn't I start?
Not using the well-timed block thing, where if you well-time block while you're invisible, it doesn't count?
Okay. Oh man. In my video, I talked about how people were going to make this mistake, and then I went ahead and made it just now. His invisibility is an active buff.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Oh.
So Fisticuffs obviously prevents that, which I was like, why didn't he start invisible? So that's another thing to keep in mind. All right, cool. I feel like with Hood, you want to focus on a couple of things and then stay on top of those. Like, the hexes are not hard to keep up. Well, you can't run out of bullets, though, like I just did. So, shoot. I'm going to try to get to my SP2 and see if we can bait seal our boy Herc here. That wasn't bad. That felt pretty good, actually.
I want to say you dipped down to 18 and you went all the way back up to 40.
Yeah.
Wasn't he lower than 18?
Yeah, I mean, he might have been lower than 18. Let me go back.
I think it was around 12%, if I remember correctly.
You guys are talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
health, right?
Yeah.
And then I will admit too, the heavy did a lot more damage at the end there than I was expecting. A lot more. We were invisible, but there was still a lot. I think we were invisible. I should have recorded. Why didn't I record? Yeah, thanks, Judah. I definitely missed that. I definitely missed it. The invisibility is an active buff. All right, let's go ahead and move over to Venompool. I'm seeing how much time we spent on Hood. I that one actually might bring me back to thinking he's good, but I think he's not necessarily how I wanted to use him. But without recoil tree, he felt a lot better. He felt a lot better.
Wait, so just to confirm, does Hood miss on a well-timed block?
If you're invisible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So it starts off at 120% chance to miss, right? And then so there's each miss reduces it by 20%. He had a synergy that was upping it to 140. I think it's with like Vulture. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, where it's kind of almost an awkward thing. If you miss your first couple of opportunities to get in an attack, then you actually have a bit of a problem if you were intended to then parry. So you do want to if you choose to use Hood's invisibility as an opportunity to create an opening, you do want to jump on those first couple of misses. And you can't, like what happened with me against War Machine, you can't just rely on it to completely miss a long SP1 like that, or an SP2 in any special, obviously.
Right, I was just surprised because like I thought they were going in the direction more so like Mr. Fantastic, where when you well-timed block, you don't evade, even though he has an evade chance, just to prevent that kind of situation where you go for a parry and then it's like, oh no, I just evaded.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
BK said, how would you all rate buffed Hood over Sorcerer Supreme?
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
But when I list my top 5 Mystic champions, and this is in no particular order, it's Doom, Claire, Magic, Sorcerer Supreme, and Diablo, and I just said them off the top of my head. So that's that's a really tough. If Hood was that good, you guys would be seeing me ranking him up right now. So I think Sorcerer. That's just it's more a reflection of how good Sorcerer Supreme is.
Yeah, and she has also proved her viability in most types of content as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's Venompool. Okay, so this one we're going to do a little bit differently because I didn't have a preconceived idea on how I wanted him to fit into my roster. So I am going to kind of just load him up with stuff here.
Oh, and yours is Awakened too, so you have that pre-fight, right?
Yeah, I do badly want to test that. In fact, maybe that'll be the first thing we start.
I think going with the crit one is actually the best choice for most fights.
What's that, bud?
Really?
Yeah, because you get loads of attack modifiers in the Furies, so increase the crit rate.
Jacob, what was that? What were you saying, dude?
You get loads of attack modifiers in the Furies once you get going, so increasing the crit rate will probably be better for damage.
Crit rate Venompool?
Yeah, with the pre-fight.
I understand. What I want to test is, have you guys noticed Kang is starting to make his way into more and more synergies?
Yes.
Yeah, didn't he have a synergy with Penny as well?
Yep. That seems like a big deal. It's 30% attack. Just like, here you go. Here's half of a full champion green boost. We'll go with this. And then if someone in the chat's like, hey, no, throw in this synergy. Let me know. I was so focused on Hood. There's a lot about Venompool that I have forgotten, so guys, don't hesitate on tips on how to play him. BK, great 5. Thanks, man. I know, anytime you make a top 5 or whatever, there's always going to be like the honorable mentions, where it's really like a top 8 or something like that. But those are just the 5 that for me, I feel like there's a difference. I'm seeing a lot of Tigra or Hood for rank up. Tigra, yeah. I would stick with Tigra. I like Hood. I do, man. And if you like him better, I don't think it's crazy. And Tigra's definitely a champion you want to make sure you know how to play well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How willing are you to learn Tigra, or do you already know how to play Tigra is definitely a question I would ask first.
Yeah, you actually get benefits from intercepting with the special too. It's kind of similar to the way you play Black Panther. And you're quite decent with him, as far as I know.
All right, let's see. Let's pay attention to this. Let's see if precision is the first one to come up, and if it's not, how quickly it comes up. And we reset this with the heavy, and there was another benefit to heavy.
Yeah, you got increased lead duration, I think.
Okay.
I really wish they showed the percentage on that. Is it in the SIG ability?
There's. And I remembered. It's funny the things we remember and things we don't. Is I recall making a big deal or trying to make a big deal about this in my video on him. Was that they don't tell you, and it's not what increases with the SIG. Here, watch, guys. So that's why I'm so intrigued by this. What increases with the SIG is the potency, not the likelihood of it triggering. So if it's like a 75% thing, cool, man. But if it's like 10, I don't know. That's where I definitely don't think he's replacing Venom. So we'll have to just see. And then the cooking meter goes up by hits. Tech champions, this is what I was talking about as far as a really good, potentially a very good penny counter. Okay, the heavy does reroll the blender buffs. If the opponent's knocked down, you get, yes, there you go. That's the potency. All special attacks inflict that bleed. That's nice to have a degen instead against robots. I was thinking that it doesn't make as much sense, but I was thinking with champions that have buffs, you're going to want to use the SP1. Why did I think that?
Because you can omnom it?
Yeah. And that'll up your cooking meter. That's right. And then eventually you want to get to your the SP2. And there was a use to the SP3. I feel like maybe the SP3 was once you're all ramped up. But I'm very, very open to suggestion. King will get better with time. All right, cool. All right, let's check this out. Watch, precision will be like the first one to come up. Okay. If it's gonna work that well, then yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Okay. Was there no benefit to the SP1 if the opponent does not have buffs?
You gained a power gain, I think.
Yeah, I didn't, though. That was weird.
Wait, I think that's the SP2. If you get interrupted on your moonwalk, you get a power gain.
Yeah. So maybe the SP1 is only good if there is buffs for you to omnom.
Yeah, here it is. Each hit has a 75% chance to omnom one of each unique buff on the opponent, removing it and granting 50 cooking meter. And if the omnommed buff was an armor up, you get a regeneration buff, recovering 3,000 health over 5 seconds.
Ooh, that is juicy. Did you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of buffs.
He's definitely fun to play. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
I think it was Work who said that, he's fun, but when would you ever really use him over Venom?
If over Venom,
over Venom.
I think that's going to be tough, right? Just because Venom's so good. And those are talking about like the Venn, my MCoC Venn diagram idea. But if the pre-fight allows you to get, okay, so that's a problem right there, right? As far as finishing off your dance, I'm gonna get to the SP3. See what that's gonna do for us. If the pre-fight allows you to get to almost guarantee the buff that you want right away, that's going to help you with the Spider-Verse champions, with the Clintar buff. I think that's part of where Venom had a big advantage, potentially.
Yeah, but he can be a substitute for him for people who don't have him for certain variants. So
You know what, dude? I'm going to try to steal that word from you. That is a great word for it. Substitute. Thank you. And that bleed is that's 2,700, guys, right? That's,
I think you said that the special intercept, if you special intercept with the or everyone is saying that the special intercept with the special 2 will stun the opponent, and that allows you to get the moonwalk off.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
That's
MSG
what
was saying that the
yeah.
special intercept is like Black Panthers, which I'm assuming means it's hard to time. But I could be reading that.
Okay, so it's not like Herc's. Like Herc feels like he's got like a football field where they're like, "Yeah, it was an intercept." Where Black Panther feels like he's got a couple centimeters. Keep in mind, sorry guys, I didn't actually introduce this well. This is a Sig 20 rank 1 6-star without recoil tree. I do have deep wounds on though. That was
Pretty good.
that was really good. Holy smokes! No wonder everyone's coming onto the stream saying like, okay, that's enough hood. That's enough hood. Test Venompool. We also do have him loaded up with like, what felt like all by far his best synergies. Jacob, we're going to go with precision because you're making a lot of sense there about the crit rating for this guy. So let's see if it comes up first. And if it doesn't come up first, how quickly it does come up. BMCG. Yep, that's exactly. Yeah, that's when I think of Venn diagram, you and Jacob are coming up with some great examples.
This is my own speculation here for the special intercept, but I'm curious if heavy attack into special intercept on dash is the best way to go, because that seems like what his kit is designed around, because the heavy attack gives you the increased damaging debuff potency thing, and then that creates enough spacing for the opponent to then come dash into you, which you can then launch your special into.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Did you guys notice precision came up again? This is a very, very tiny sample size. But if it's going to be like that, holy cow. Because remember, the SIG is actually increasing the potency of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, your sample size is actually pretty big in the sense that every buff that you've triggered has been a cooking buff with that same percentage chance to trigger the precision as the very first one as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's how it works. I mean, they haven't really given us any update on how the buffs scale in terms of their percentage increase on the SIG. But so far, you've triggered 4 different buffs, I think, and only one of them was a precision. It just happened to be on the first one.
The best part is, if you don't get a buff you want, you can use the heavy to reroll.
To reroll.
Yeah.
What's up, MSG?
What's going on, man?
Okay, I'm going to exit out. Is this guy insanely good, or
I feel like right now you're testing in Realm of Legends, which is kind of his ceiling.
yeah?
Because he's the kind of champ where he gets very strong as time goes on. Kind of like King with the synergy from, I want to say, Professor X level.
Yeah.
Apocalypse, you mean?
Oh yeah, is it Apocalypse? Thank you.
I want to try him out, and where I usually like to just test a champ. What other utility did he have? There's no immunities, right?
He does have immunities when he's fighting a tech champion. He gains immunity to power drain, power burn, shock, and armor break when he's fighting a tech.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Penny, I mean, that's got Penny. Everyone's justifiably a little concerned about Penny, but that will help.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, he doesn't go stun immune. He doesn't have energy resist. He doesn't have bleed. He doesn't have poison resist or immunity. He doesn't.
He does have, with a synergy, he does have stun immunity.
Oh, you know what? And he has Incinerate too with Sunspot, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's just straight up immunity. He becomes fully immune to it.
Or do we have? Yeah, there are some nodes like that where it's just a pure Incinerate damage node. I still don't think he replaces Venom, but I'm starting to.
I just think he and Venom fill very similar niches.
Yeah.
He's also, where's the heal coming from?
There's two ways he can heal. There's a synergy with the Deadpool characters. Every time his cooking meter reaches 100, he has a chance to gain a regen. And only if you Nom armor buffs, you'll gain a heal off the special one.
That's right.
I will say though, the Deadpool synergy is 5% of max health, not missing. So it's pretty good.
That feels like Mojo, where it's like one of those things where you don't initially realize that it's as good as it is, but then as you get lower in your health pool, it starts to really show its value.
Yeah, except Mojo's is based off of missing health, and Venompool's or that synergy gets it off of max health, which means you will always be healing the same amount, which is 5% of max, which is pretty big.
Yeah, I actually misunderstood. Holy cow! So it's even better.
Yeah.
I one of the biggest, I've said it a few times, one of the biggest differences for me here is that I assumed, just because of it being a Deadpool character, like it felt like randomness was kind of part of his deal. I assumed that that the pre-fight would not work as well as it is. That is really surprising me right now.
Which pre-fight did you enable? The precision?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to go.
So that one didn't count as a special intercept, and that was pretty close.
Yeah, I haven't landed it once. And I'm intentionally like not talking or thinking when I get close to it because I want to be concentrating on it.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be like a true... It needs to be like a medium light intercept, but exactly with a special attack. You need to time it. It's just like Black Panther. The moment they dash in, the special has to already be in motion. So like you have to really get the timing down, and that's going to be a little difficult, but he does have more than one avenue of damage output, which is good, so he doesn't 100% rely on the special 2 intercept.
Yeah, the window for it feels like Black Panther. It does not feel like Hercules. Hercules' window is massive.
Hercules' window is like if you land a special within any single hit of the opponent's combo while trying to hit you, it's an intercept.
It's like, are you playing MCoC? Cool, yeah, then it was an intercept. It's good. It's good with her. Like it's not.
Oh, this makes a lot more sense. So someone in chat, I think it's Krusty Husk, said, I just took a look at Penny Parker's block proficiency, ...
Oh, yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
They gave her a MODOK level auto block with a MODOK level block proficiency, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's weird, like, it was really fun for me when the deep, I think it was the deep dives came out. It was fun for me to jump into the Discord server, because there's so many smart players in there. And to kind of watch you guys like explore it all, and I didn't want to ruin anything. And you guys definitely point out stuff that I hadn't seen or whatever too. I'm not trying to sound like I did, but I had the benefit of seeing those abilities for a while, right? Right. And that was something that they did not cover, and part of why I was able to stay so calm about Penny when I think initially it looked like she was just going to be the worst thing that's ever happened.
Mm-hmm. I want to see how well the Sync Shield balances that out, but yeah.
I still don't think he replaces Venom, but
no, he doesn't. He's very good, and he'll have his uses, and he's like a fit. See, the thing is, if you need the utility specifically to counteract spider characters' evade, and you have the Awaken ability, you can use Venompool for that exact same situation.
Yeah.
So they're like you said before, they have very similar niches. I think it's just going to come down to like, hey, do you like Venompool? Do you like Venom? Who do you like more? And that's really going to be it. The only thing that Venom has over Venompool is more reliable regeneration and access to armor break. That's pretty much it.
Wait, MSD, you said that he would serve the Clintar mute buff niche that Venom has. Isn't it still a roll to get it at the start, or is it guaranteed at the start and then rolls to get it later?
It's still a roll at the start, but you can just heavy until the cooking meter resets, and eventually parry heavy, you'll get it. It's not the same as Venom's. Venom's is instantaneous, obviously, but as long as the matchup isn't, you can't. If you get evaded once, you die. Venompool is going to be able to serve that same niche as Venom.
Got it.
Yeah, it's been. I've been trying to do a couple different things. I felt like you and I weren't communicating well on what I was testing with the pre-fight, and why I was saying like I think we've done 5 fights now or 4 fights. It has come up as the first buff in 3 of them, and in the other fight, it came up as the second buff. To me, that's if that rate continues on in testing, that's reliable. A lot of my concern with it has been alleviated.
I think that's fair, yeah.
That's a rank 1. Let's do that same lane. Let's do that same lane, and I'm not gonna have him all synergized up. At least not all of those. Things that are increasing his damage.
I also haven't heard anyone talking about King Groot. Is that just because it was underwhelming, or because...
No, he's really good.
No, he's pretty good.
Think about this, though. Hold on. You could run Recoil Tree, bring in... I guess you don't bring in Platinum Pool, but the other Deadpools, and Nick Fury. Now you have your miss, your evade counter, right? And you're healing up a huge chunk at the start of the fight, and then whenever you are hitting the cooking meter, and you're increasing his attack value by 40%. Yeah, and so, holy cow. Like, I'm not going to put them back on, but if I'm understanding this team properly, and I think I am, yeah, look at that. That's pretty incredible, right? Or am I just kind of in love with it?
Regarding King Groot, he got exactly what he needed. His ramp up, he needs a little ramp up, but he's pretty good now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just surprised because usually the chat, when Vega tests new champs, is loaded with, oh, when are you testing all 3 of the champs? Someone will come on and say, when are you testing Venompool? When are you testing Hood? And when are you testing King Groot? But I have only seen asks for Venompool, and I have just not seen anything about King Groot. So I was wondering if it was just underwhelming.
Vega doesn't have King Groot in his title.
Yeah, in fact, guys, I intentionally didn't. One, just of the amount of time I know that I have. And 2 is my King Groot he's not even awakened. And so, we could do it, but I don't think anyone's really going to learn very much. So I have a 6-star unawakened King Groot. I was most selfishly interested in Hood for how I wanted to use him. We went over that at length, so I won't bore you guys with it. And then the chat is actually what got me excited about Deadpool. Venompool. Part of what you're hearing, though, is my thinking Venompool was not... I thought he was going to be fine. I thought he potentially might just be another fun kind of quirky character. He's better than I thought
exactly what I thought.
Yeah, he's better than I thought he'd be.
I had a lot lower expectations. I think one of the reasons I had a lot lower expectations is because I didn't understand... I skimmed over the kit. I didn't actually like read the kit to make sure I knew what I was reading, but now that I'm seeing it in action, my expectations were definitely exceeded.
Yeah, and I one of the reasons I enjoy making the videos on just the abilities is it forces me to really pay attention to them, to the abilities. And I'm realizing there was a rotation that I theorized would be good, and I cannot remember what it is now, and it's kind of bugging me. But obviously I'll watch that off stream and then get to it.
All right, well, guys, I just wanted to hop on for a little bit. I got to head out. Thanks for having me on. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, man. Take
Yeah.
care.
Steve.
Have a great one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the reason I'm just not feeling Venompool as much is because I have Venom at rank 5.
Yeah.
And so I know I will never be ranking up my Venompool.
I'm not currently seeing a reason why you necessarily would.
Yeah. Everything we're seeing is just proving is more of a substitute.
Mhm.
And that's still a good thing to have, because who says you're going to pull Venom, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I think he's able to help in all the variants Venom can as well. That's going to be helpful for a lot of progressing players.
That is true. Oh yeah, I guess him in variant, what was it, 5 now? Where you get that, like, dash back and hold block when you reach 10 of those charges things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's the variant 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's probably going to be really good for Venompool now.
He can't cheese the same stuff with the armor break as Venom can, but that's only a few lanes.
You know, Jacob, that's a great point too about the armor break. The other thing, as we're doing more and I've removed like the various synergies and things, I do feel like Venom's regular old Venom, his damage is a lot better out of the gate.
For sure.
Yeah, and also the bleeds that Venom gets can be increased by deep wounds if you are into that.
Yeah.
But I feel like those bleeds just do more for you. And then what you just demonstrate right now, that special too, it is just so finicky with Venompool.
Yeah, but you're gonna it's it might just be the novelty of it, the desire to try to get the dance completed is very high.
Hey, Shadow.
What's up? Is Shadow here? What's up, dude?
He says, okay, so I'm thinking I'm playing King Root wrong, but pre-buff it took 674 hits to take down Winter Soldier, but on level 6 star, and now it's 310.
Interesting. I'm not gonna lie, King Groot's buff description was too long for me to read, so I did not actually go through it. But from what I heard, it did sound very good.
You're definitely playing him wrong in some way. I still haven't decided if it's better to go for more SB1s at the start to get more armor breaks off. You can stack them up to 10 now, so that's pretty good.
Snoops asked, how are we feeling about Venompool so far? I like it, but a lot of people are hating on it. Snoops, that seems to be a common thread with you. I mean, first stealthy, now this.
Snoops, I am liking it. Mine's only a rank 1, which sometimes is tougher for me to judge. But I am liking it. It's better than I thought it was going to be, mainly because I thought something that was going to be a real problem for him was the reliability of the pre-fight. And that's been really reliable for us in testing here. And I think they did a good job. Again, it's only a rank 1, so I'm not sure. But I don't feel like he starts off with this like massive damage out of the gate, which I think would have been what would have made him, you know, an OP sort of champion, top shelf type of thing. But the damage gets going, man. It definitely does. And I don't think I have down exactly the best way to play him in all situations.
I think Venom is better personally.
I think
more.
Yeah.
Especially for war.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, for war?
No, yeah, no one is gonna try to spam heavies for fresh buffs in war.
You want to know what you're getting.
Oh yeah.
You know, one
the
thing.
Damage straight out of the gate is very nice with Venom.
One thing that I feel like I'm messing up here is, isn't the heavy supposed to be increasing the damage of the
yeah, but you can only do it once
in a fight?
Stack.
Yeah,
it doesn't stack.
Okay. So like I think even this sort of health pool as a rank 1 gets a 6.4.1 opponent. I don't think this health pool is allowing us to really show his true damage potential. Because I think we're just now kind of getting to it. Now that the Furies are kicking in, right? Because he gets those 5, I think it's 5 cooking buffs. And then I think it's 5 Furies after that.
Drago said, "Okay, I'm a head out. This is fun, guys. Hope to see your thoughts in the Discord."
Take care, Drago.
Richard Belding said that it seems he's hearing that Diablo is bugged, and it seems that the Kingpin synergy that makes his poisons passive gives both passive and regular poisons after the special.
I just tested it out. It does.
Yeah.
I have 24 passive poisons right now and 18 active ones.
All right. We're going to go look at that really quick, and then I want to see...
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that sounds fun, is what it sounds. Let's go look at that really quick. And then I do want to see Mole Dude. That's going to be it for testing Hood and Venompool, guys. So just so everyone knows kind of what's going on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Mole Man thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he got updated.
Well, yeah. It wasn't abundantly clear what was going to, like, is this the fix that we've all been kind of like talking about, or was this like just a fix that wasn't totally clear?
Do you have any clarification on that?
No, I don't. I don't. Oh shoot!
I can test it right now.
This is kind of where I wanted to test Venompool. I'll do that for a video later.
Snoop said, "I think he's going to fill a good spot in the Cosmic class, and its problem with being so top heavy. I'm tempted to rank up and awaken my 5-star." Surprisingly enough, I don't think that the Cosmic class is top heavy. Don't know what you guys would think on that, but
as in top heavy and only being a few good champions.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought I meant top heavy as in like there's a lot of good champions.
No, I think he meant a few great champions, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I agree.
Cosmic and Take Up definitely the most lacking classes, in my opinion.
What was that?
Cosmic and Take Up definitely the most lacking classes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, my Mole Man is still getting the true accuracy icon in Frenzy.
Brendan, I'm just gonna do like 1 or 2 fights here with Diablo. I just want to see his poison that crazy, and then we'll take a look at Mole Man as best we can. The idea was he was not supposed to keep True Strike. I think it's when he enters Frenzy mode, right? And he was. And when they listed the patch notes, it said that they were going to fix like his interaction with certain champions, I think was the wording. And so we were trying to figure out if they were truly fixed him to how he was supposed to work or just what was going to happen. We'll test it real quick, see if we can figure it out.
It isn't fixed, apparently.
It is not?
Yeah. Richard Belding said it isn't fixed.
All right.
Yeah, I just tested it right now and it still is not fixed.
Really?
I kind of want them to address it, to be honest.
I want them to address it so badly. Like, I cannot, in good faith, tell someone to rank up Mole Man with this much like uncertainty.
This has been going on for months now. So
Yeah, I still just say like keep in mind that he is not working as it says he should, but you know.
He's still going to be a good champion, but
Okay, so Snoop said what I thought he meant initially, which is when he said top heavy, he meant it has a lot of amazing, crazy good champions, as well as a lot of terrible champs, but few in between.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm just landing passives. So maybe they fixed it, Jacob.
It's from.
I think
it's
he
from
means
free.
special to me.
Oh. Got it. Okay, well, we're probably not.
It gets pretty ridiculous, especially if you turn on recoil.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm not running that right now. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't gaining power.
Yes, Morton, that's the bug we're talking about, which is that he's not supposed to have True Strike and Frenzy. And it is to our advantage, but even though it's to our advantage, it's still something that is worth clarification on Kabam's part as to whether they will keep it that way or whether they will change it. Because I believe that Kabam knows it exists.
Oh,
I think that has been made abundantly clear to them.
Yeah, there's no way that they don't.
I know
Exactly.
people who posted it on the forums.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of why have they not addressed it? Are they going to wait until everyone rank 5s their mole mans, which is just going to make the problem worse if and when they do change it?
They're just waiting for a critical mass. Once like 54% of the accounts have been ranked, then that'd be hilarious if that's what was going on.
And I mean, I remember was it Namor and Cole fiasco?
Yeah.
Where they
Yeah.
tried to issue that kind of compensation for rank down tickets, and they completely botched it up.
Well, okay, I didn't realize.
Torch buffed at the same time.
What's that?
Huh?
I think Torch was buffed when Cole and Namor got nerfed.
Yeah. You've heard my theory on why that is, right?
Can't remember.
You're like, I don't listen when you talk. Basically, this is not verified at all with being in the CCP, but I think that when they're probably at some point early on in the creation process, I think they decide that like the champion is supposed to be within a certain window of like how powerful they're supposed to be. And definitely that is probably mixed into combination with whether they're supposed to be an attacker or a defender. And so as a result, Namor was probably outperforming what his ceiling was supposed to be, as was Cole in a way. And Human Torch probably was underperforming what was supposed to be his floor or his like kind of his target. And so that's why, because I used to think, I'm like, there's no way this makes sense. Like, this can't make sense. And then I just kind of started paying more attention to like what was buffed or what was coming out, or like, how do we have like Hercules and Shang-Chi and also have Psycho Man, right? Or have the same champion designer design Hercules, but also design Ebony Maw and get like 2 shots at buffing Ebony Maw, and he still comes out that way. I think he's just supposed to be a defender, and he, as an attacker, he's not supposed to be overpowered.
Isn't it 3 times?
What's that? Yeah, it is. I think it is 3, right? That just makes sense to me. It doesn't mean it's right. It's just kind of what makes sense. I think we're going to call it, guys. Like I said, this actually went a little bit longer than I even intended. I feel like I have a decent idea on where to start here with Hood and with Venompool. They both seem like good champions. Venompool is better than I thought. Hood is not as good as I hoped. And I don't have a King Groot. So I don't have a King Groot that's worth testing for your all purposes. So when you guys, before you rank anyone up, make sure you test more than one source or check more than one source, and then test them yourselves too. I think that's really important. Spin and Jacob, thank you so much for being on the call. And did either of you have anything you guys wanted to add?
Yeah, don't jump the bullet and rank anyone up prematurely right now.
Yeah.
Rest on it.
Yeah. And what about you, Spin?
Yeah, I mean, just that same sentiment. Test them out, rank who you enjoy, etc., etc.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. And I'm going to try, if I can, get a couple of videos out here really quickly before the rest of my workday gets going. If not, thank you so much for stopping by the stream, and we will catch you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody.